The views and opinions of this video and comments of this channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of this channel's broadcaster. If you have a complaint about something or find the content is being used incorrectly, please don't contact the broadcaster.
3, 2.
This is Balaclava Diaries. We're toxic, we're talking aggressive. If you don't like it, send a message. We're weed stimulated, educated, top rated, and never baited. I am the OG MacG. To the far right of me is this Mr. Let's Party.
Bam, 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 wagwan people. I hope you guys are
Bam, bam,
blessed.
bam,
Happy
bam,
Easter. You
bam.
don't know. God bless. God strength.
Real shit, real shit.
Today we have, I don't even know how to put this guy. He moves like his name is Ralph McDaniels. For those who don't know Ralph McDaniels, he started something called Video Music Box, which is pretty much the blueprint for Much Music, MTV, all of these things. He says it didn't come out of nowhere, but from 2021 till now, the man's done types, concerts, videos, podcasts, clubhouse jams, fucking his own set and films thing. I know he does some back end on the Duke ROTM show.
Facts.
What would you say your favorite concert that you've done so far is?
Favorite concert? It wasn't even a concert. It was freaking rap battle. URL when they came down from Pat State Memorial.
Okay.
That shit was crazy stuff.
So
'cause
just
obviously,
even
you know what I
stuff
mean?
like that, like
Yeah.
if you see something popping in the city, it's probably his camera that's got the footage down. He calls it the run and gun, but I call it network and live. See what I'm saying?
Real shit.
The man doesn't really let Canada, stop him and bound his boundaries. He's outside of Canada. He's outside of, New York, let's say LA. What you do, London, all of them places too?
Yeah,
And
soon come, fam.
that
Soon
soon
come.
come,
Yeah,
yeah.
real shit.
This guy's scary. He's a scary dude because when he says he's gonna do something, it's gonna happen. But let's give it up for London Rich, everybody. Done all.
You already know, fam. We here, bro. Happy to be here,
Only
fam.
director with a rapper fucking drop. So just break it down for the people. You said you went to French immersion school,
Facts.
but I'm sure there was more to the upbringing.
Yeah,
100%.
So
Came
let's
out the
start
mama's
with that,
womb, and now you here.
Yeah, but yo, born and raised in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Born downtown Toronto. Lived in Regent Park for like the first year.
You're a region, man?
Nah, not like that. Still, but you know what I'm saying? First year, went to Scarborough right away. Lived in on VP for a bit.
VP or where?
Bruh, VP. Just VP, lived on VP. Not gonna say too much. And then when I was, like 10, moved over to Leslie and Finch. I don't know if you guys know about Sparroways.
Of course.
Yes, I stayed there for a bit till I was maybe like 16. Then moved out to Markham, went to school out there, and just, been doing my thing since,
Markham,
fam.
Ontario.
100, fam.
A lot
so,
of killers come out of Markham, Ontario.
that's what it is, fam. So, yeah.
Okay. So at what point was it where you realized you were an artistic person?
Yo, I made my first. I used to make music back in the days, man. When I was like 12.
You're
These
a
niggas know,
rapper
fam.
too,
I was a rapper too, fam.
No. What's your rap name?
It's tied in with the Govy, so I don't really say too much.
Oh,
But
okay,
I go by
okay.
London right now. But yeah, Longes Rico. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the names too. Started rapping on the block back then.
Okay.
We had like this program back then. It was like a workshop where they taught us how to rap, and
What?
we did
Hold
that.
on. What was this workshop called? They taught you how to rap?
It was Rap 101, bro.
Rap 101.
Yeah, so
You only get these type of things in Markham, Ontario.
nah,
You
this
never-
was back when I was in Sparroways, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so on the block, so they had like this workshop. It was government funded. Did that,
Right.
taught us how to rap. Then we did an album at the end. So we
Oh,
shot an
that's
album.
mad.
Yeah, did an album. I was like 12, 11.
Okay.
Did an EP. I was on the hook of one of them, and then that's where the artistic expression started.
Okay.
Yeah.
From that point, did your brain just kind of only want to do art, or was it one of those things where you went kind of back into the grind, got a regular job, went to school, or did you just say art is life from now on?
Yo, dog, it wasn't even. I couldn't even figure it out back then. You know what I mean? So just all over the place. So did the rap stuff. Did even producing. I was making beats at one point.
Okay.
Damn.
Got a job. I was working at like a random spot, but film came afterwards, back in 2020, 2021.
Wow, so
that's
this is
when I
like really recent. Like
Real shit.
that's
Real
crazy,
shit.
yo. Like for you to just go from like rapping and like kind of figuring yourself out, and then like boom in 3 years to like, yo, I'm the sixth director out right now. Like that's a crazy turn of events.
Nah, facts, bro. I can't even lie. Shout out to the team. The team was calling me a director before I even had the camera. So it was like one of those things where it's like I kept saying it, and then Started doing
Yeah,
it,
you
fam.
spoke it into existence, and now you're really doing it. That's sick stuff.
Real shit. Real
I
shit.
hear you, man. That's intense. So you go through these eras of being an artist. You're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Why was that? Did you not feel confident in the art you were doing? There wasn't just a click with it? So what was it that kind of said, I have to be doing something linear as opposed to artistic?
Yo, I had a lot of moments, but I can't even lie. The final moment for me was when my grandfather passed, bro. So when he passed, it was like, yo, I have to do some shit. And then it was just like I clicked into videography, and then I just went up from there, you know? So that was like that one moment where I was like, okay, I'm locked in now, you know?
Okay. So, you go through this process of, developing your craft and making your way to, doing filming. What's the first shoot that you're dealing with? What was
Shit, dog.
what was the first? Is it on YouTube somewhere?
Yeah, yo, it's up there, bro. So yo, the first music video I ever shot was the homie Pariah Ocean. So that's the homie I know. I'm like, yo, let me shoot your video. So I got paid 70 bones to do it. Went all the way to Burlington for that. So half of the bread went into,
The travel.
Yeah. So we shot that. I wasn't even an editor back then, so I was editing on a platform called Filmora. So Filmora is for like YouTubers and stuff. So that was my first thing. And then obviously I know some niggas that are rapping. So Young Leaks, I don't know if you guys know Young Leaks. He's a rapper that, from the city.
Okay.
He does a lot of songs with like Chromas and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he started bringing me around and stuff, and that's when things
So
started
wait,
really.
you know Chromas?
I met her a few times. She's cool, bro. She's solid, fam.
Get her on my show,
I
fam.
won't lie, bro. Chromas is one of those people, like, when you meet her, you understand why she's a star. Like, it's like one of those where it's like,
She just has the star.
she walks in the room, shit start to, like, the lights start changing. She comes through with snacks, licks. She's bringing everything, fam. She's bringing a vibe, bro.
She's a real Latina.
Dog, it's crazy, bro.
Tacos and tequila.
It's more than that, too. Like, literally, we had a shoot. I actually shot a video with Leaks and Chromas.
Right.
She came through, we shot the video, and she was making a track at the same time in the studio. So we shot a music video for one track, and she was recording the next track.
She's working.
Well, she does have a hard work ethic. Like, you can't maintain that level of, like, just visibility without kind of doing something, whether it's like you're foiling and creating bullshit to stay in the TMZ or you're, actually in the studio working. You have to kind of be developing something, So I've always seen Chromas out there as opposed to us not hearing her name.
That's what I'm saying, man. And
whether it's the OnlyFans, whether it's the, you know what I'm saying? So you shot for Leaks. Did that lead to a Chromas video, or was this just kind of...
Yeah, everything worked out because obviously they're like mad close.
Okay.
So after I shot him, I feel like when I started shooting his shit, that's where things started to level up. So as far as editing, he was a big editor back then too. So he was on Adobe Premiere Pro. So back when I was using Filmora, this kind of like ties into the story of how I got like good at editing, right? So one day I shot his commercial. So back then I used to film and then hand him the footage. So one day we're talking, he's like, yo, bro, I mastered After Effects. I mastered Adobe Premiere. I'm like, say where you mastered it? Because around the time we kind of started around the same level, right? So that weekend I went home. I locked in for like 3 days straight. Just mastered the whole thing. Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects. And then came back to him with the footage I did, right? He's like, yo, you shot you edited this? I'm like, yeah. He's like, how'd you do that, bro? I'm like, yo, After Effects, after he showed me, he's like, yo, I never told you I knew After Effects. I was like, you just told me, you know what I mean? But it's something just clicked after that. So then it was just like, on from there, fam. Yeah.
That's sick, man. That's super sick.
Oh, man. So your content doesn't show, it speaks. You're in all these places, fucking showing the vibe, making people have FOMO, making them lose their brain based on the fact that you shoot sick content. Where does that come from? Where does that eye come from? Because you see other people's content.
I see that shit. That one even like, I see that. Yeah.
Like, what is it about your content that separates you would say?
Yo, I can't even lie. A lot of the times when I'm shooting things, I feel like I'm lucky at the same time. I'm at the right spot at the right time, And I have an eye for certain things. So, like, let's say I'm going into a party. I already know it's like some type of synchronicity going on in the party. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys notice, like when you're in a flex, everyone's throwing up the same hand signals in one party. You guys ever see that? Yeah, so in one party, everyone's doing this. Yeah, so there's certain things where I catch on, and then I just trying to riff off of that when I'm filming. So when I go back to the drawing board, it's like I just put all the pieces together,
I've seen you at work a couple of times, and He'll be there talking to you, dapping you up, and he'll see something, and his face will get serious, like, oh shit, I'll be right back, I'll be right back. And then, you're down to, what you're doing, but it's just like, okay, you don't want to give up the sauce, I get that. But there's obviously things that you see that other niggas aren't seeing. There's obviously reasons why you're getting the bookings. There's obviously, you know what I'm saying? So just tell us a little bit about the technical parts of your game that, pulls you apart,
As far as getting the bookings, I feel like relationships is number one. Everyone says relationships, but it's like just making it organic. Like I feel like a lot of it is luck. Like a lot of things you can't really strategize, you know what I mean? Like for example, I met a lot of people that work, let's say Universal or like MLSC and all these companies. Like you can't really put that into like a textbook. It's just like you talk to a certain person. You gotta meet them, you gotta be outside. I feel like being outside is number one for me.
How many days a week would you say you're outside networking?
7. Real shit, 7.
No, I fuck with it.
Like I was showing him going to a soccer game after this. I don't even watch soccer, but it's like just to be in the room, you know what I mean?
Just to shake hands.
Exactly.
I hear you. That's crazy, bro. Oh man.
Why do you work so hard, bro? Like, what's the point? Like, fam, like we were talking, I was like, yo, I'm doing research on this guy, and I'm like, yo, he's always working. Like, he's moving like he's Jamaican. The man has 8 jobs. Like, I'm like, yo, what's this guy doing? Like, it's nonstop. Like, every time, I click the story, I'm like, bro, you're just in Vancouver. I click the story, you're back here. You click the story, it looks like you're gone again. I'm like, yo, this guy's always doing something. What's the point of the hard work, man? What are you working towards?
Yo, right now, wealth, bro. Getting to the bread, the money. A lot of it is like money based, but at the same time, it's legacy based too, bro. You know what I mean? So just building up.
Lead into that. Like, with all this work, what kind of legacy do you plan to leave in the city?
Yeah, I want to leave the whole mindset of set, bro. So set and film, the whole philosophy of it. Let people know what it's about. You know what I mean?
Explain that philosophy. I want a little bit more understanding because I know you're just not doing 100 things a day for no reason. So
Facts.
Speak to the philosophy of set.
Set and film. Before that is set in mind. So obviously when you have something set in your mind, you want to have it manifest into the picture of your reality. So it's just based on like those things. Like certain things I see, I want it for myself. So just filtering that through my mind, you know?
I made a post the other day that said, one thing people can never stop are dreamers that execute.
100%, bro. 100%. So that's really what I'm trying to like push, you know what I mean? Anything you have set, you can make manifest. That's number one, bro.
Anything you haven't set, you can make manifest.
Facts,
you hear
bro.
that? That's a bar right there. So you're a real rapper for real. Man's out here just writing the bars like, yo, that one's sick. I'm putting it down.
This guy's a rapper and a director chair.
I lie.
Dude, don't even fucking kill me. So you did like a lot of shit on TikTok. Was that your starting place to kind of get your name out there?
Facts.
Or was the streets your starting place to get your name
bro.
out?
Yo, it wasn't even TikTok. It was Triller or Thriller. You remember that app?
Yeah.
Yo, so
what do you
back...
mean, fam? You forgot, what's it called? With Swiss Beats and thing? What's Versus?
Versus, yeah. That's how it all started.
Triller was the thing.
Yeah,
that's the app they're using? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's what started.
Triller was signing big dirty deals to man for Versus.
Dog, that's how I started. So basically, before I even had my camera, I used to be the guy where I'd be at a party and I'd be filming on my phone, dump all the footage on Triller, and he used to have like, you could put a track and then splice it like that. So that's how I started my videography journey, for real.
On Triller.
On my phone, yeah. So I was doing party mixes, be at the beach, get the women, get this, get that, and then he started calling me the director, bro, back then. Yeah, this guy remembers, dog.
You were like the first phone guy before the phone, like filming on the phone was a thing.
This back in 2017, 2018,
that's
bro.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing little recaps, anything, bro.
No, that's heavy. That's heavy.
That's how I started.
So, did that teach you that TikTok wasn't enough? Where you had to get into the streets? Where was it that you realized that networking was more than DMs?
Yo, networking, more than DMs, when I started working at Centennial College. So I was doing the broadcasting thing over there. Okay. So we were basically capturing the games. So just that, learning the camera work, learning people working there, that's when networking actually started, because that's how I got the job in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, the way I even got the job, I was watching the game one day, and I got a phone call from my grandfather. So back when I used to go to Centennial back in 2019, just watch the ball games, whatever, watching the game, I got a call from my grandfather, went in between the stands, answered the phone. After I hung up, on my way out, there was a little stand right there, right? I didn't even notice it when I was going in between. So someone told me, yo, just ask them bare questions. Started asking them a lot of questions. They're like, yo, since you're asking all these questions, why don't you just, send your resume in? I sent my resume in, I got hired within a week. So when I got hired, I started shadowing for the reporting stuff. So I'm writing articles for the school, for the games. And then one day they're like, yo, we need a videographer. So boom, I went up there, started doing the game stuff. And then I never left that, bro.
And was this with your own equipment or stuff that they
That was their
provided?
equipment, the school
Okay.
equipment. So we're capturing the games, and then yeah, bro.
That
So
could
that's
really turn up your game to the next level because you're getting like state-of-the-art shit to
that was the
use.
first time I was using that. Yeah, it was the first time I was using these cameras, and
What
then
was the first camera?
it was like a Sony, bro. It was like a Sony. That's what we were capturing the game with, like a Sony.
Those times before you're used to like look at iPhone 5, you're like,
That's
yeah,
what
that's
I'm
all I'm
saying.
with. Like, you know, 2 buttons on the side, zoom in.
Real
I was
shit.
like, yo, this has beer modes now. Action mode now. Man's like, playing with the display lights and shit. That's crazy.
So do you
Facts.
ever look at old work and cringe?
Nah, I don't cringe, bro. I don't cringe,
Nah,
yo.
you just look, you're like, I didn't know how to do this shit back then. All right.
Nah, facts, bro. I feel like, yo, you have a certain understanding back then, and then it just keeps going up. So I could look at it. Most of the stuff is on my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of my
Right.
old shit is on my YouTube.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. I've seen it.
Yeah, what
So
would
you-
you see, bro?
I seen like some old stuff, like some old rappers you put on from looks like guys from like the East, like in Scarborough. Looks like a couple music videos from there.
Facts.
I seen a couple of those. I don't remember the actual artist name, but I watched a couple of those, and then like a lot of like older stuff, like from like looks like 2017 around there.
Crazy.
So yeah, when I was doing my research, like I like to see the growth, because like the journey is what makes it all fun to me, right? Because if you're doing the same thing you're doing 5-6 years ago, it's like, did you grow? What's the point? Like, what
Facts.
are we learning from you, right?
Did you
So
pivot
to
at
see
all?
that is pretty
Real
dope.
shit.
Mhm.
Real shit. Nah, facts, bro. Man's are pivoting all the time, bro. I'm always thinking about the next thing, bro. I won't even lie.
Mhm.
I was shocked. Honestly, I didn't think you like the way every time I met you a couple of times before you had this like interview, and every time like, yo, this guy always gives me rapper vibes, but I knew you weren't a rapper. But now I know for sure why I got the vibes, because every time
It's
like,
like
yo,
a
fam, you're good,
1998
all
rapper
swaggy
shit.
and shit. I'm like, okay, this nigga is super cool. You must be a rapper. And I'm like, cause like, yo, this guy does film. I'm like, no way. And then now things all
So,
making sense and
Would you
shit.
say it's been a smooth road for you so far, like through the whole process of building yourself to where you are now?
Yeah, I can't even lie. It's been smooth, bro.
Would
'Cause-
you say it's necessary to be nice in business?
Facts. A lot of
You
times,
think
bro.
it is?
I won't even lie. As a videographer, the way people talk to us sometimes is crazy, bro. Like you won't even. Dog, I know a lot of people. They talk to you like it's an extra or something. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
they talk to you or like down or whatever. But I just take it in and keep it pushing, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I go.
Humble.
Okay.
Yeah, mad humble, bro. I have to be because it's like,
So you've had people cuss you out and shit
Yeah,
like that
bro.
because the work's either not on time or it's not what they envisioned,
or just cuss you out for no reason too, bro. Just cuss you out just to cuss out, bro. Or like,
and you don't have any reaction. You're still faced.
yeah, gotta be, bro. Because it's just like I already know where I'm headed, so I can't even get stuck, bro.
Niggas lying,
You
bro.
can't let them trick you out your
Guys
spot.
Nah,
lying. You know
nah.
what he does? Oh, you cuss me? Okay, no worries. See the invoice here? Oh, what's this fee? The stress fee. See that? Stress fee. Don't cuss me next time. The stress fee is gonna be taken away. I know this guy's
shit.
slapping the stress fee on every invoice one time.
Nah, facts.
Look at 5 bills. Like, yeah, don't worry, cuss
Can you tell
anytime.
us a story of when something like that happened?
I mean, yo, people talk crazy like revisions or just like, you know what I mean? Or I can't give you a specific moment, but it's just, you know what I mean? You just gotta take it. And sometimes people are like low key with it too, or you know how it is, bro.
They're just like sending sneak disses almost.
Yeah, sneak this is all the time, bro. I see it all the time, but I just try to move around it. And I already know, bro. You can't
Are
get caught
these
up in
people
that.
that you work with again, or do you just kind of depends on the check?
Nah, this guy's professional. As I told you, the stress fee, my dog. You see? I just said it. The man's like, yeah, the stress fee. That's what it is.
Now, facts, the check for sure, bro. The check could definitely, change things, bro. Let's be honest, bro.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I mean?
sure, bro. Look at Miles Garrett the other day. The man said he didn't want to play for the Browns. They offered him 40 M's. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there tomorrow, bro.
That's
So
real.
money definitely changes a lot, bro.
That's a fact.
So funny.
I'm glad that you have your stress fee. I know you have it written differently on the invoices. Don't tell the people them because we don't want you to get no problems in the future. But
It's crazy.
if you piss off London on set, you don't know. In your invoice, you'll see it. You'll have to pay for it.
That
Just know,
price will
warning.
be set in film.
Yeah, it
Real
would be
shit.
set in film.
All right, so now that you kind of, get to this level where it's like, okay, I'm getting, regular work. Let's not even say like you're at the point where you are now, but before that, you're getting regular work. You're still trying to having to be outside networking constantly. Where does that pivot happen from survive to strive? Like, where was that point where what was the moment where you just kind of realized, like, I'm that nigga? What show did you get? What's the job you got? Like, what put you on that pedestal?
I can't even lie, bro. That mentality was there from the jump, bro. No cap, bro. So it's not even about what's going on outside. It's about what's going on inside, bro. Because if
Okay.
you start looking out on outsides, you'll get caught up, bro. But everything is within. So I feel like a lot of things are happening because I have the mindset already, bro.
Right.
That's how I look at it. It's not like a specific moment where it's like, okay, once I got this, because things happen a lot earlier. Like I said, the first year I was filming, we were filming chromas and stuff like that. That was the first year, bro. So
you were like bang right into it.
yeah, when I got the camera, it was like shit just started coming in, bro. Literally, the first shoot I had was Leaks, right? Wait, it was Pariah and then Leaks. That second shoot with Leaks, I met this guy named OTRJ. You guys know
Okay.
OTRJ?
Yeah, bro.
I met him and he's like, yo, you had the same camera. Why don't you come to the next shoot with me, bro? And then it was just started rolling from there. It was just like, it wasn't like a moment, but just shit just started going.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I
never.
mean?
Yeah, I feel like at this, you don't have the. Based on your journey, it doesn't seem like you even had the moment to kind of reflect on that moment yet, because you're still so deep in it, and it's like every day is something new. You can't even reflect back, and like you said, you're out 24/7. You're out 7 days a week, so I don't think you've even had that moment to truly reflect on what that time or that perfect moment that said, "Yo, I'm actually London Rich setting film type of dude now." I
Real
don't think
shit.
you've reached that point yet.
I hear you. Nah, facts.
Like as a businessman, like we often go through, valleys, ebbs and flows, so on and so forth. I don't know how to ask this really. Like vulnerability, is that something you ever show? Because every time I see you got this like stoic look on your face, like nothing can penetrate this fucking confidence, right? But you spoke about the confidence always being there. Where the hell did that come from? And do you ever show that vulnerability?
Vulnerability, when I think about vulnerability, I won't like think about relationships. So like that's where, the vulnerability stuff happens. But the confidence is I feel like you'll do the work, bro. Cause like I was showing you, like I spent a lot of hours learning the craft,
Right.
So that's where the confidence comes from, like putting in the hours and stuff like that. But vulnerability, not in public. I'm not gonna be vulnerable in public. I don't even drink in public, so there's certain things
So
I
you're
don't do in
not trying to
public.
show no weakness.
Nah, we don't drink in public. I don't smoke in public. I don't do nothing really.
But those are things you partake of on
your
the
pri-
Yeah,
your private
if
time.
I'm with a shorty on the side, bro, it's vibe. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that kind of helps that. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like that. Keep it super professional, 24/7. But when the door locked behind you, that's
Exactly.
it. From the door locked,
Exactly.
okay, biz, ball up.
Yeah,
Where did that
exactly.
sense of privacy start?
I don't even know, bro. Right now, the homies don't even know where I live, bro. So there's a lot of stuff where I just keep private. Yeah, bro. I don't even know where it came from, but privacy is number one, bro.
Could it have been from, moving around so much? You said you moved around quite a bit as a youth, right? You were in one hood and another
Next
hood,
hood,
then
and
you
the
moved
next,
to
and then Markham was the
Markham.
final.
Was that part of it? Like, were these moves based on like, financial means? Was it just something that, your parents got a new job and they had to move away?
Yeah, it was definitely parents. Still, parents were moving us around, but the
Yeah.
privacy thing has just always been in me, bro. So yeah, I keep a lot of shit low key, and some things I don't even talk about, bro. But yeah, man, it helps. I notice it helps still.
Okay.
Do you feel like that mindset like allows you to escape a lot of politics a lot of other directors get involved in?
Yeah, I'm definitely not with the politics, bro. You won't see me talking about a next person, or that's not really my vibe, because you just fuck up more shit. You know what I mean? So try to focus on my own business, setting film, and that's number one for me, bro. 100%.
What was the let's say like the top shoot that you did that irked you the most? Where it was just like, why am I here? Like you put yourself in this great situation and then you're like, what the fuck?
It's like your Reggie already has the answer ready to go.
Yeah,
Man's like, yo,
and this guy's
April.
so private,
Yeah,
won't
he
say.
knows it, but this guy, he's like, yo, I'll tell y'all niggas a story, if he's not gonna tell it.
Yo,
Like,
what are you thinking about? Because nothing comes to mind. I won't lie. There hasn't been a situation where it's like, yo, why am I here? Or if it's like that, then it's like I'm not really. I just do the job the same way. You know what I mean?
You just show up, do
I
the
just
job.
do the job the same way. But then I know I'm not gonna be back there or doing the same thing again. You know what I
Where
mean?
does that work ethic span from? Is it your mom, your grandpa? You said your grandpa kind of switched your brain into
Facts.
like who was it that showed you that?
Nah, definitely my parents, bro. Like I said, we moved around a lot. But in seeing my Dukes like level up, like my pops, like he was like go from no job to being a teacher, bro. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah, like it was just that's what I'm saying. No job, just on the block, not on the block, but you know what I mean? Like in the neighborhood to going and leveling up. And I remember us seeing the checks and being like, yo, we're rich now. And you know what I mean? Like it was like one of those. So seeing the work ethic from him and then my mom kind of going along the same path and just both of them leveling up.
Right.
It's like you can see it and you're conscious too. So it's like you're seeing like the crib that you're living in changing and just everything moving around.
Would you think those means that, you grew up with are the same reason why you're so devout to the community now? because I see you do a lot of community work where you're teaching these classes and so on and so forth. You're probably getting a check.
I am
Right,
getting a check, bro.
But at the same
Yeah.
time, a lot of people see those opportunities and say, fuck it. Like, I'm not teaching this class of fucking 36-year-old people how to edit. You know what I mean? Like, what is it
Yeah.
about giving back that, you know, what started that? Was it the fact that you kind of came up from the mediocre means? Was it the fact that you were in situations like that rap thing?
Yeah.
You know, like, what was it?
Nah, definitely the upbringing, because people don't even notice, like, some of the impacts you have on people are, like, forever, you know what I mean? Like, we're doing a program right now with some students at some school in Mississauga,
Right.
where we're teaching them about spices. So my boy has a spice brand called Pili Pili Spices,
Okay.
and he's been doing that for a minute, and it's a culinary school, right? And these kids are what? They're like 14, 15, and we're teaching them about spices, and them seeing us, we're seeing how apt they're getting and stuff.
Right.
But people don't know that, like, 15 years from now, they're gonna be talking about that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for
Like,
us,
this
it's
is
just
how
like
I learned how to cook.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying.
facts, bro.
For us, it's just like a regular thing. So I look at it like that. Like, you never know what this can end up being.
sure.
This might be freaking the next Gordon Ramsay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Is that your driving force behind it? Do you, like, you talked about legacy? Is legacy the main thing that you're trying to do with that? Or is it just
A lot
you're
of
trying
it,
to be charitable?
yeah, a lot of it is organic too. Like, the opportunity came. I'm like, yo, why don't I just wear a suit and a
No,
tie for
but
this?
why are you taking it? You're already busy. Like, let's
That's a
keep
fact.
it real. You're
That's a fact.
busy as fuck.
That's a fact.
So I'm trying to get to why does the community resonate with you? Why are you trying to help them?
Yo, that's us. That's how I look at it. It's me. So when I look at the community, I look at myself. It's a mirror. So it's like I'm helping myself. So if I'm helping myself, someone else is gonna help me in the same way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I'm doing something here, and then I look to the next side. It's like I get that same love back, and it's like, oh shit, someone just called me for this.
Karma,
But you don't
you're
even.
a big karma guy.
It's bigger than karma at the same time. It's like something beyond karma. It's like,
Explain that. What do you mean? What's bigger than karma? Like,
yo, God, still God.
Okay.
I feel like, you know what I mean. The way I'm not trying to get too preachy, but, like, you know what I mean.
no,
Like,
bitch, dog, this is the
Preach,
spot.
it's
You know
Easter,
what I'm
dog.
saying?
Easter.
It's crazy, right?
Preach, brother.
yeah, treat people like how you want to be treated is what Jesus said. So,
The
like, when I'm
golden
treating
rule.
people that way, I'm noticing, like, in real time, shit's happening on the next side too.
Right.
So, like, a lot of opportunities, people hit me up like, yo, how did you get this? They don't know that I went over here and did something over there. You know what I mean? So,
But that's what I'm saying. You're telling me all this shit. You're a rapper. You did videos. Then you did this, that. It's like no one would look at you and tell that shit, bro.
That's a fact.
You just pull up quiet. You got your camera in your hand. You're like, yeah, dap every man you have to dap. Then you're out. Then I don't see you again to the end of the party.
Not real shit.
I see your fucking Instagram the next day. Sickest footage ever from the same night. I'm like, how? You know, but no, I think a lot of people should take a look at this guy's blueprint. And that's why I'm trying to get him to, you know, develop some of the secrets, but he doesn't want to, which is fine.
No, I'm trying to. It's just, I'm trying to, like, explain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A lot of
It's so
shit, man.
private. There's too many keys. We
Yeah,
got like 80 more doors to open up. This nigga's like,
so we ask all directors and videographers this. We're gonna ask you this too later. Your top 5 pillars of what it takes to become a good videographer.
Okay, bet. For me, number one is study. So studying,
shit.
editing, you have to put in the hours. It takes a lot of time. I can't even lie. It took a lot of, for me to understand Adobe and stuff like that, it took me a while. Like, when I first seen it, it looked like a computer.
It's a whole new language.
Bro, it looked like engineering, bro. It looked different, fam. But then I had to, like, you know, break it down. So hours is number one, studying. Number two, networking is number two. It's definitely, you need to study before you start networking. You can't network without the knowledge, you know what I mean?
Right.
So networking is number two. Number three, obviously, a positive attitude. You have to be optimistic, bro, because a lot of
I'm gonna keep
situations.
it real with you. A lot of these videographer niggas is not happy, bro. They quoting you numbers they're not worth, first of all. $600 for an hour and a half. Nigga, I seen your work. You just picked the camera up last week.
Crazy.
So, okay, keep going.
Nah, that's real, bro. I used to be like that too, bro. No cap. Like, when I first started, I was quoting man's like, and I took it like that. Kind of prevented a lot of stuff, so I had to kind of humble myself a little bit. I remember once someone hit me up. They're like, "Yo, we want you to film something," and then I quoted them at, like, I think it was like 1,000, but it was like a quick shoot. You know what I mean? They just wanted something quick. It was 1,000. That was earlier on. That was probably like my second year in the game. So at the time, I knew I wasn't worth it. But then he was like, "We don't have 1,000 for that." But then I still came through and I shot it for free.
okay.
So when I came and shot it for free, that same day, I met like some real connects. That same day, just shooting that, and then they seen the footage. They're like, "Oh shit, we want to hire you for this whole different thing." And I ended up getting paid for that. So
You got your
bro.
rack. You
I
definitely
my
got your
rack.
rack.
I got
You
my
definitely got your
racks.
rack.
Racks. You know what I mean?
You
So
definitely got
Well,
it.
I mean, I've been trying to preach this to a lot of people. Work promotes work, you know, and usually when you're in a situation where the work isn't that great and whatever, if you're doing good work, it's like being on a football team where you're the only good player. Everybody else is shit, but you shine because you scored 4 touchdowns even though your team lost, right?
facts.
So eventually you can go somewhere else where you're gonna get the money you deserve, where you're gonna get, you know, the work you deserve and win a ring. You
That's
know
a
what I
fact.
mean? But a lot of people stay in that bad mind mentality and just say, fuck it. If it's not $1,000, I'm not working. And they don't realize what comes out of just being there, just being in the situation. I try to tell my team this all the time. It's like us being in places is just gonna create more work for us. We were fucking ski masks when we go outside. Fam.
different.
Everybody talks to us, bro.
It's different.
Black guys are scared, but the white guys are like, yeah, like,
going
you know,
on,
they want
dude?
to high five
Want to
us
link
and
up with
shit.
the hands? Yeah, they want to
Yeah,
take
black
photos
guys
and
are
shit.
scared. It's scary time, but you know that's a super big point when it comes to this shit. So number 4 and 5.
Number 4 would be.
So we finished with have a good attitude. You know what I mean?
So after have a good attitude, I say good team, bro. Right now, I have my team Bossman Inc. It's 4 of us.
Okay.
I do videography. My next homie, like I said, does spices.
Right.
Next homie Duke is on there.
Right.
Duke does the podcasting, entertainment. Then the 4th man, his name's Jim. He does more of the community work. He has All Black Market, which focuses on black businesses in the city.
Okay.
So like having that foundation where we could just talk and be like, okay, I'm going through this, I'm doing that. That would be a pillar for
Good
sure, bro.
team.
Because it helps
Okay.
a lot, bro. Like that confidence.
I have the best team in Toronto.
I can
I'm
tell,
not
bro.
gonna
The
lie to
team
you.
is out
These
here,
niggas
fam.
they're a headache, but they're dangerous. You know what I mean?
Facts, bro. And then number
See?
5. Real
Give me the
shit.
finger already. Nah,
And then
but
yeah, number 5 would be God, bro. Definitely make sure you prayed up, cause a lot of shit could change just from
that's
some
the
prayers, bro.
peace. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
nah, for sure. I feel like prayer is underrated. I remember me and Duke were having this conversation back then. I didn't even think prayer was important, and then I went back and then I started praying, and then shit started shifting, bro.
It's very rare that as a black man, your mom's not a church lady over 50 years old. Every
That's
man
a
in here,
fact.
your mom's at church like 3 times a week, no?
Bro, they're at
No?
church yesterday, today, and
You know
tomorrow,
what
bro.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it stems back to something. I always think that like a lot of the successes we see in black culture is from the prayers of a lot of slaves.
Facts. That's a
You know
big
what I
fact.
mean?
That's deep.
You
That's
know what
deep.
I mean? It's like how many people had to cry for you to stand on that pedestal. That's why I can't stand house niggas, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, different convo, bro.
Um,
I want to keep going.
Yeah.
So you know, you have your team and you got everybody's working with you. So black creatives, they push the industry forward a lot, but they never get real recognition or real opportunities of ownership. What would ownership look like in, I guess, in this industry for all black people if you could really create it?
Yo, for me, setting film is registered right now as a corporation. That's number 1, making sure you have the foundation in that. And making sure you're getting paid and you're also getting your residuals. You own your footage. So obviously I'm working with a lot of labels. So we have those talks where it's like, okay, who owns what and stuff like that. Because it's just like the music, like the songs, like, you know what I mean? You own royalties. So you can do the same thing with the video. You know, the homie has his own film festival that he's operating. He doesn't like look towards TIFF to do his thing. He's doing his own
thing,
shit.
yeah.
You know what I
Yo,
mean?
I
So
love that attitude though, man, because if we didn't learn from Kanye, we're idiots. Like, no, seriously, like,
That's real.
somebody can give you $6 billion, but they
Facts.
can rip it out your pocket as soon as they want. If you create that from the ground up, you buy your own factories, you do what you got to do, even if
Facts.
it's small time. No
Nobody
one can
can
ever
tell you
look at you and take
Real
it
shit.
away
Yep.
from you.
That's
You get
real.
what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real.
So I appreciate that thought process from all you guys, man. And we're in the same boat. We're really trying to kind of cement ourselves in this weird little niche that not a lot of people are in. And at the end of the day, we push that and we're fearless in it. We don't give a fuck.
That's
you
a
know,
fact.
because if you do become fearful, then are you really taking the steps? You know, I always say like God favors the brave. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So it's like if you're not willing to take that step and you're just trying to think about it the whole time, the faith isn't gonna work. So whatever faith you have in the prayers you put in, if you're not gonna step forward, God's not gonna come to your house and open the door
No,
and
he's
hand
not.
you $5 million.
Niggas gotta be
You know
outside,
what I
bro.
mean? So it's just honestly, this is refreshing to me, fam, because it's just one of those things where I love to see my people make it. I'm tired of seeing us in the courtroom. I'm tired of seeing us in the fucking, 6 baby mamas and they're not taking care of it. Or I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see more situations like this where there's, entrepreneurial types that,
Positive shit, man.
yeah,
100%.
build themselves up, start a family the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
Whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where it's like I've always kind of watched your career from a distance. You've kind of, poked your head in and out of just what we've been doing, and
That's right.
you always showed love to us. So it's like this needs to happen for you more. You need to be on more platforms. More people need to know about the work you're doing. More people need to know about, the other side of the black community in Toronto.
That's real.
Like there isn't just top fives and a whole bunch of niggas doing gang shit all the time. There's niggas out here that are actually cementing themselves in hard work and working harder than some of the races we've been pit up against. You know what I'm saying? Like people will say Indians work harder than niggas. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
That's
because, me growing up, my mom had 2 jobs. I have 2 jobs right now, nigga. Like shit, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, keep pushing it, man. The community work, keep pushing it. The run and gun, keep pushing it. But what outside of that run and gun is happening in the future?
A lot, bro. I won't even lie. I just finished school for business marketing. So looking at
Big up
appreciate
to
that,
that.
man.
Congratulations.
Took
I
me a
big up all
minute.
education accomplishments, bro.
It's from you get knowledge our youths.
It took me a minute, so I won't even lie. Like I graduated high school. A lot of people don't know I'm almost 30. I'm turning 30 this year, bro.
Okay,
You know what I mean? So to get the diploma, you know what I mean, took a minute, but we did it. Looking to incorporate more of those things, you know what I mean? Being more on the production side. Like I remember we were talking about lighting and stuff like that. So instead of just the run and gun, more on the production side, just like how M-Works was talking too, like leveling up as far as that. And keeping an open mind, bro, because I feel like a lot of stuff, you never know. I might end up doing something else. You never know, man. I'm not tied to just videography. I'm really tied to the
You can
cause.
just wake
bro.
up, you're an actor the next day.
That's
next
what I'm
time I
saying.
see
This
you-
guy just likes to hustle.
This guy just likes to work, bro.
Yeah,
This guy's
that's
like,
what it
yo,
is. He likes to wake up, leave his yacht, say, I'm gonna go
The
meet
work,
2 rich
like-
man, and I'm gonna be working with them in 2 weeks. Like that's what
That's
you
what I'm
like.
saying. So I'm not even tied down to the film stuff, bro. I love film. It provided a lot for me. I feel like it brought a whole different mindset to how I see life. Like
Right.
being able to film a party and rewatch it and see shit that people don't normally see how people act in certain situations, you know what I mean? Gave me a whole different insight. But it's not just about film, bro. It's really just about, set, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Shit.
I got another question for you. Is like one thing. Do you watch movies? You watch TV?
Yeah, from time to time, bro.
Do you notice that there's a lot of like reboots out there and stuff like that? There's not a lot of original ideas. If you could create your own film, I know you've done, but if you had like the biggest unlimited budget, what would the film look like from you?
Definitely be based in Toronto. Man, you gotta show the city and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But definitely metaphysical. A lot of like fiction, just in that realm, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, kind
Something
of diving into that.
something like Supercell type shit. Like,
Exactly.
okay.
Supercell for sure, but more spiritual.
Super Saiyan Toronto Hoodman.
That's what I'm
I
Yo,
know a
Crony,
couple
I'll
of
slap
those.
you out with the
I know-
ting. Ping, ping.
I know 5 mans right now that are perfect for the role.
Word, eh?
So this is a question we ask everybody. You wear a ton of masks.
Yeah,
I don't even
yeah.
have to ask.
I honestly have the answer. I
You
already know
have
the
on-
answer.
You have
but-
on like 6 different masks right now. I take one mask off, there's the next mask.
You think so?
underneath
You
it.
guys think so?
Yes, bro.
So where do you wear your mask more? Do you wear it in your public life? Do you wear it in your professional life? Do you wear it in your private life? Do you wear it at home with your parents? Where would you say you wear that mask?
Yeah, that's a deep question, bro.
It
Yeah,
happens
fam.
to everybody on the show.
Yo,
so you gotta
I
answer.
won't lie, the mask never comes off unless if I'm by myself.
What the? This guy's Batman, dog.
Yeah,
Real
that's what I'm
shit.
saying. Like, this
Nah,
guy's
if we're
really
being real.
Batman. I knew you were gonna say that. Like I was like, yo, I was waiting
Yeah.
for you to tell you that.
Seriously,
Yeah,
fam?
yeah, 'cause
You're
it's-
that type wound up, like.
Yeah, nah, no cap, bro. I won't lie, yeah, no cap. I think maybe I took it off maybe from my relationship, but that was about it, bro. If I'm being honest, you know what I mean? Because everything calls for different sides of me, bro. I have different names. It's not just London Rich. My grandmother calls me Ricardo. So my government name is like tied into like, Angola and the ancestry
Right,
in Portuguese.
right,
So
right.
I have a different, so every name has a different mask, you know what I mean? So my government name, my mom calls me something else. My
You're like a
grandfather.
Wu-Tang member, fam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Johnny Blaze, a.k.a. Method Man, a.k.a. like, that's
Yeah.
you?
But yo, fam, it's just how it is, bro. I feel like everyone wears a mask, bro.
No, for sure, but
Yeah.
we're asking when
Yo,
you
wear
yours.
yours though.
But
That's
you
what-
said everywhere
Yeah.
until you're by
yourself
your
until the
Lolo.
door locks.
But like I said, my relationship, I feel like she got like a different side of me, bro. She got the real.
Oh, so
the
you're
real side.
taking right now.
This was back then. She's my ex,
So
bro.
now you're all here
Man's a
just
freedom
vibing.
fighter.
He's
You're
out here
not hearing the story.
vibing.
Like, man's a freedom fighter. Fighting for the crotches, He's out here.
So there's no special woman for Mr. London.
Yo, in the future for sure, bro. But yeah, she was definitely special, bro. I won't lie. You know what I
Would you
mean?
into the black things or the Beckys?
Black women for sure as far as relationship, but right now my mind has been open. My mind has been open, fam. I went to Vancouver, dog. It was different, man.
Yo,
Vancouver
the
was different.
Beckies in Vancouver will slap you as soon as you walk in the door.
It's insane, bro.
No filter over there.
It's insane. So yeah, I'm not
The
even
whole
discriminating.
Midwest of Canada, like Midwest onwards. Yeah,
That was my
right?
first time there in Vancouver, so I learned a lot about Canada, about white women, about just different sides, bro. I'm not even discriminated. So for me, it's like obviously I know I'm gonna settle down with a black woman, but like as far as being able to see beauty, I can see it everywhere. You know what I mean?
That's
Some
true.
people
That's
like their eyes are all
Same too.
clouded.
Like
That's
when I
fair,
see
fam.
that, that pink banana, I'm like, yes,
what I'm
that's
saying?
pretty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't care what no one says if I said that. Like that's just what it is.
So I could recognize for sure, bro.
Yeah. I feel you on that stuff.
100.
So, any new moves that are gonna come up in the future that you want to shout out real quick?
Yeah, I want to shout out Set and Film. We just had an intern. Her name's Lydia. She's on the team, new to the team. More content, bro. More stuff on the way. And we'll announce it as it's coming, you know what I
It's a
mean?
busy summer, you're saying.
Definitely busy
Where can
summer.
the people find that, like that announcements and stuff like that? Where should they look out for it on?
Definitely on the gram. I'm gonna go to New York next week, going out there for a bit. You know
What's
what I
your
mean?
gram? They need to know.
Yeah, at
So-
London Rich. You can follow me on there. At Set and Film, you can follow me on there, and then at Set and Mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yo. So let's big it up. I'm OG MacG.
You already know,
Mr.
Mr. Let's Party.
London Rich,
know.
Set and Film, you already know, fam.
Set. Yo, see, look, Matt came with the rap with the you already know set and film, man. I was like, holy, that was too
Guys,
quick.
rapper drops down, yo.
You already
But
know.
anyway, thank you. Like and subscribe, Balaclava Diaries. Done
Bam,
know.
bam.
Check. Yo, appreciate you, fam.
Appreciate you, bro. That was sick, dog.